horror story titled Mirrors. Very beautiful horror stories. A true and frightening horror story titled Orphan and Mirror. Is it very difficult to be alone until you are born an orphan? To grow up when you don't know a father or a mother, to grow up among people you don't know, none of them care about you. They don't listen to you. You can't talk to them about your work. However, all this is required for you to continue living alone, to face all its cruelty and strength alone. But this becomes impossible when abnormal things happen to you. You can't imagine anyone will believe you to tell them what's going on with you. You better stay silent and create for yourself a world of your own, found in your imagination. She was an orphan named Rose, 15, who was an orphan of the father and mother and had no parents to know. She lived in an orphanage. In Rose's room, she had her own mirror. This mirror was purchased by the orphanage at auction to sell antiques at a very cheap price. As she used to every day, Rose would sit in her room and look at this mirror. Rose always saw a strange creature behind this mirror. But he didn't look good, and he always looked at it. But on this day Rose insisted to know what this creature was behind the mirror. And I checked a lot in the mirror, and suddenly she found out what this creature looked like only once. Rose screamed a lot when she saw him, and the nurse scooped her up and took her away from this mirror. Rose always sat in front of this mirror, trying to see her face, but she never succeeded in getting to that. And she never told this that she saw to anyone before. Who would believe that a child of her age is watching a wonderful creature in the mirror always staring at her? This creature was in the shape of a man whose hair was white. His mouth was stitched to stay completely closed, his eyes black like night blackness. Rose would see no more. Whenever she looked at a mirror, she would not know who was chasing her everywhere. She was always afraid of him, afraid of coming out of the mirror and doing anything with her. When Rose was 20 years old, she had to leave the house. One of the laws of the orphanage was that a child, if they were 20 years old, left the house, because it was only for the children, but Rose didn't know it. The director of the orphanage came to her and told her that she should leave the house. So she started screaming Rose and refusing to go out, because she had no qualifications. The director came and asked what she was and why she was screaming, and the supervisors told her that she was 20 and nobody came to adopt her. People were rejecting her because she had a mental disorder. Rose always tried to prove that she was not sick, but to no avail. Rose woke up one day in front of a psychiatric doctor, who asks the nurse about several things she doesn't remember, but she heard him say that he would start her treatment immediately. Rose kept searching for the truth of what she sees in the mirror, and who is the white-haired man who looks at her, but to no avail and couldn't reach anything. One day a man came to her with a radiant hair, told her he was her father. He told her everything that had happened with him since Rose was an infant. And he told her that her grandmother was an evil witch. Rose's father asked his witch mother to marry him to a girl he loved so much. The girl was so beautiful, and from a big family. He actually married her and had Rose. But one day he found out that his wife was cheating on him with someone else. And that Rose was not his daughter. And he had to put her in the orphanage at the time. And he asked his mother to do the magic for his traitor wife, and the grandmother actually did this and locked the wife's spirit in the mirror forever.